today I'm going to be showing you how to make this rainbow loom bee, and this is one of my favorite characters. So if you guys make it, make sure you tag me on Instagram so I can see your really cute creations, and all my links will be below, and also the band count as well. So yeah, this I would say is an intermediate pattern because there is a couple of color changes. So yeah, hopefully you'll be able to make it, and let's get started. So first we're gonna start with our yellow. So we're going to first make a magic ring. So you wrap one band around your hook 2 times like this, and then we're going to be putting 6 stitches in this magic ring. So you grab a band, then put it on the end of your hook, and then you pull it through the loops, and then you put it back on the hook, and then you pull that band through like this. So that's 1 stitch, and then we're going to go back in and make another stitch. So put it on the end of your hook, pull it through those 3 loops, then put the band back on the hook, and then pull that band through the other 2, and that's 2. So we're going to make 4 more, so we can have 6 altogether. So again, pull through, put it on the hook, and then pull. Okay, and then 3 more. So I should have a tutorial on how to make a magic ring, and also there's a lot of tutorials on YouTube. So yeah, if you don't understand, you can check the more in-depth tutorials. So that's 4 stitches. Then 5 and 6. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now we can move on to our second row, and our second row will be a increase all the way around. So we're going to go into our first stitch, which is right here, and then we're going to be doing an increase. So an increase is just 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. So I'm going to make a single crochet, and then we're going to go back into the same stitch and make another single crochet. So pull through, grab the other end, and pull like this. So that's 1 increase, and we're just going to do it all the way around. So 1 and 2. There, and then 3rd increase. Oh. Again, this is an intermediate tutorial, so I'm assuming that most of you will already know the different stitches, so I will be going a bit faster. And then last increase. And there you go. So now you should have 12 single crochets or stitches. So you can go ahead and count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So for the next row, row 3, we're going to be doing a single crochet, then an increase all the way around. So let's get started. So we're going to be doing a single crochet first, and followed by an increase on the next stitch, and you should end up with 18 stitches altogether for this row. And then next is single crochet. And then an increase. And you're just gonna go ahead and do that all the way around. Single crochet and increase. So once you get to the end of the row, make sure you move your C-clip up to the loop that's on your hook. And now you should have 18 stitches, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So that is the row, that is the end of round 3. So now we can move to round 4. So round 4 is going to be a single crochet all the way around. So it should be pretty simple. So let's do that. And that is row 4. So you're going to be doing 3 more rounds of single crochets. So altogether you'll have 4 rounds of single crochets. So I'll see you when you've finished your single crochet rounds. So after you finish 4 rows of single crochet in yellow, we're going to move on to row 8. And for the next 2 rows, actually, we're going to be doing single crochets in black. So let's get started. So to do a color change, you just put your hook into the next stitch, which is this one. And then you get your new color. You pull it through everything on your hook. Then you put the other end back on. And then you pull through like this. So that is how you do a color change. And then you just go around as normal. So you just go to the next stitch. And it's just 2 rows of single crochet in black all the way around. And it does get a little bit repetitive, so you can like listen to a podcast or music. That's usually what I do. So after you finish row 8, which is the first row of single crochets in black, we're going to be doing our second row of single crochets in black. And just wanted to make sure that you don't go into this stitch because that was the stitch that was created when we did the color change. So make sure you skip that little stitch and you go into this stitch. And yeah, so now you can continue your second row of black. Again, when you reach the second row of yellow, I want to remind you that to make sure to skip this little stitch right there because that's created from the color change. So make sure you skip that and go on to this stitch. And you can continue your second row of yellow. So this is the end of row 11, and we're going to start row 12 and 13. So once again, we're going to be using black for the next 2 rows of single crochet. So let's do a color change. So go into your next stitch, have a black band, pull everything through like this, and you just go ahead and do a single crochet all the way around. And for the second row, again, make sure you skip the little stitch. So for row 14, we're going to be switching back to yellow, and we're going to be doing a single crochet and then a decrease all the way around. So we're going to start off with a color change. So you just go into the next stitch, get your yellow band, and then pull everything through, put the other end back on, and pull through. So that counts as a single crochet. So the next stitch is going to be a decrease. So to do a decrease, you're going to take the front half of the next stitch like this, and then you're going to take the back half of the second stitch, so like this. So then now you have 2 black loops on your hook. Then you're going to take a yellow band, then pull through those 2 black loops, put the other end back on, and then you're going to pull through like this. So that's a decrease. So now you're going to do a single crochet on the next one. Oh. And then for the next stitch is going to be a decrease. So again, you take the front half of the next stitch, so right here, and then you take the back half of the second stitch, like this. And then once again, you pull through those 2 black loops, put the other end back on, and then you pull through, like this. And that is how you do a decrease. So you keep doing that all the way around. So single crochet, and then a decrease. And then you should end up with 12 stitches. So single crochet, then decrease, single crochet, then decrease, single crochet, and then lastly a decrease. And then you should end up with 12 stitches, so we can go ahead and count that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So after you finish this row, which is 14, we're going to stuff it now because the hole is getting smaller. So we're going to grab our stuffing, which is right here, and then you can start putting it in. Then make sure it's nice and stuffed. So we're going to be doing the last row now, which is row 15, and we're going to be doing a decrease all the way around. So you can go into your loop and make sure you skip that little stitch right there and go into this stitch. And again, we're going to be doing a decrease. So first half of the next stitch, and then back half of the second stitch, and decrease. And then you're going to end up with 6 stitches, and then we're going to close it up. So 3, and 4. Oh, keep going off camera. then 5, and 6. And that's done. So now you can take off your C-clip. Now we're gonna close it. So I like to weave it in through the top half of the stitches. So basically I take the loop on my finger and then I go through the top half of the next stitch and then I pull it through. And then I take the next stitch again from the ring and then pull it through. And then I do it again on the next one. And then I do it until it looks like the hole is pretty much closed. And then I put both loops on my hook and then I do a slip knot to close it all off. And then I take the slip knot and then I pull it in to hide it. Oh, and make sure to not pull the stuffing out, right? Right, and this is what it looks like. Okay, so now I'll show you how to make the wings. So first we're going to be using our white bands and we're going to be making a magic ring of 6. So again, you take one band, wrap it around your hook 2 times, 1, 2, and then you got 3 loops on your hook. And then you just take one band, then pull it through those 3 loops, then put the other end back on like this, then pull through. So that's 1 stitch and we're going to be making 5 more. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we can double check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's your magic ring, and then you can add a clip for the stitch marker. So moving on to row 2, we're going to be doing an increase all the way around, so you'll end up with 12 stitches. So you just go into your first stitch and do an increase. So 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. Right, third stitch. Fourth. Fifth stitch. Oh. And then last one. And So that is the end of the wing, so you can just take off your stitch marker, and then you can just go into the next stitch and make a slip knot. Oh, pull everything through like this, and then you're going to be adding another slip knot to the stitch next to it, like this. So then you can attach it onto the body. So you can go ahead and pause the tutorial because we're going to be making it too, like this. And then come back and I'll show you how to attach it onto the bee. So after you finish the wings, now we can attach it. So I have this bee for reference. So how I kind of like estimate where the wings are, I look at the eyes. So if you put where I put the eyes exactly, it should be right. So how I do it is I look at the eye and then I go underneath two rows where the black is. So there's one stitch right here. So then I count 3 more stitches to the right. So 1, and then 2, and then 3. And then the 4th one is where I'm going to put the wings. So let's do that. So here, this is the stitch underneath. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3. And the 4th one is where I'm going to be putting the wings. So we can put our hook through. And then we're going to grab our wing. And then we're going to just pull one end through and make sure the wing is facing the front. Like this. And then we can double check if it looks right. And it looks pretty good. And you can just kind of like curl it a bit if it's flattening out. But it looks pretty good here. So I'm going to just take both ends and make a slip knot. I mean, not a slip knot, just tie both ends like a normal knot. It's kind of hard to see because hands are covering it, but you just tie a knot. You can double knot it so it doesn't fall out like this. And then we can go ahead and do that on the other side as well. So we're going to count it again. So we go underneath to where the black is. So this is 1 stitch. So we're going to move over 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then the 4th one is where we're going to be putting the wings. So go this, and 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to be putting the wings on this one. So just put your hook through. And then grab your wing and then pull one side through. Like this. And then you can double check if it looks good. This looks pretty good. So now I'm gonna again just do a double knot. Like this. And then we can go ahead and just pull those slip knots in. Just kind of apologize for all the shaking and my hand covering it because it's kind of hard to show. And then you can go ahead and do it for this side. Just pull the slip knot into the body. Like this. And there you go. Now I will show you how to make the face. Okay, so to make the cheeks, we're just going to be adding it in the stitch next to the eyes. So grab your B, and then you can just go into the stitch right next to the eye. So right here. And then you grab your pink, then pull through, grab the other end, and pull. So there's your cheek. You can go ahead and pull the band in, like that. And then now we're going to do this side. So again, we're going to go through the stitch next to the eye, then pull through, grab the other end and pull. And then you can just pull the cheek in, like that. So now I'll show you how to add the mouth and antennas. So for the mouth, you can actually grab a band that you have that's broken, or you can just cut a black band. But I already cut this one, so I'm just going to use this one, like this. So basically we're going to try to cut it at about this length. So whatever, like if you want a big smile, then you can just cut more. If you want like a smaller one, just cut less. But I'm just going to be cutting this band. So grab your scissors, and I'm going to cut it about like right here. Yeah. This. And then you can keep this band, so just in case you need to use it for something else. So this is the smile. So you can go ahead and just put that on the side, because we're going to make the antennas as well. So for the antennas, you can just take one band and you're going to put it on the head. So let's see. You can just kind of estimate where you want to put it. I'm going to put it like right here. You just take a black band, pull it through, claim the other side, and pull. Like that. And then I'm gonna double check again later, but this looks right. And then for the other side, you're just gonna go across and kind of find a stitch. Let's see. Okay. Go through this one. And then just again do another slip knot. Like this. And then you just double check to make sure it looks right. And this looks about right to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. So make sure you don't cut it too short. Again, this is the reference. Just gonna cut it about this size. This, so cute. And then I'm gonna cut the other antenna. Oh, I just scratched my phone. Like right here. This, you can pull it tighter so it doesn't, to make sure it doesn't fall off. You can adjust it because sometimes it might slip. So there you go. And now we're just gonna glue on the mouth. So grab your glue and just put a dot of where you're gonna put the mouth, so in between the eyes. So like right there. Then you're going to just put the mouth on like this, make sure it's flat. And then I like to put a bit more on top. Like that. And there you go. And there you go. This is how you make the bee. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you make one, make sure you post it on Instagram and tag me. I'll have my handle on the screen and in the link in the description, and because I would love to see these bees. And yeah, make sure you subscribe, follow all my other social medias, and stay tuned for my next videos. So I'll see you next time. Bye.